Newcastle 4, Chelsea 1. I thought Chelsea would do all right here.
Yeah, there was something.
Isak back.
It was something a bit strange with Chelsea's setup. So I think suddenly bringing Badiashile in for Newcastle away is strange, because that's nearly, in terms of playing within an atmosphere, etc., and a player like Isak, that's nearly as tough a game as you're going to have. Maybe Colwell's shoulder wasn't right. Maybe didn't want to play Thiago Silva on that side, and probably regrets he didn't want to play Thiago Silva on the right hand side because he had a nightmare. That bit where Thiago Silva, have you seen it, Suj, where he falls over and kicks the ball backwards out for a corner? He falls over, and Anthony Gordon has a slight moment where he thinks, "I'm going to help you up." He kind of leans in and he goes, "Nah, fuck it. I'm going to leave you on your arse." And obviously the calamity for Joel Linton's goal. He's one of the best centre backs I've ever seen, Thiago Silva. But he's had an absolute nightmare there.
Yeah, but I was thinking, like, he's older than you.
He's not.
Oh, is he not?
No.
Okay.
Thanks for the attempt, but he's not.
He's close though.
He's close, yeah.
And I know I was thinking, like, he's not that many years younger than me.
You thinking, I've never seen James cock up like that? Is that what you're going to say?
I was just thinking, I don't think I could get fit enough to be knocking out 90 minutes in the Premier League week in, week out. So give him a bit of credit for just being there and being good.
No, he's been brilliant. He's just had a bad day.
It's going to happen now more and more where he is going to have these bad days because it unfortunately catches up with you, this age.
The more interesting thing is what Chelsea did a little bit further up the pitch. So it looks like Gallagher played on the right and Palmer played as the 10 primarily. And I can't fathom out what the thinking there is, because I did a piece last week on Conor Gallagher playing the 10 position in big games and it disrupting opponents like Rodri, Bissouma. And you'd think, well, what do you want to do with Newcastle? I definitely want to disrupt Bruno Guimaraes.
Yeah.
And you'd think Gallagher's ideal for that. So I don't know what the thinking was. The thinking was I'm going to get Palmer closer to Jackson. I've not seen a lot of the game, and make Guimaraes kind of play in a deeper position. Whether they wanted to use Gallagher into press against Livramento, who's playing out of position at left back. I'm not sure what the thinking was, but I don't think it worked. That said, the first half looks like it was relatively even. But then Pochettino, by the end, is saying that's Chelsea's worst performance of the season, and it was obviously a little bit of a calamity. For obviously, they've got Brighton this week, and in a weird way, it might be to the benefit a little bit when these suspensions have turned up, because it just means that they go very narrow, I think. So Cucurella and James will both be suspended. So I would guess that Gusto might play, but they might just play Colwell and Disasai as fullbacks. Colwell left, Disasai right. We've seen them both do that during the course of this season, and they just really narrow it up massively, which might not be the worst idea to do against Brighton, particularly say if Mitoma is back available. So it might even not turn up at a bad period. On Reece James, I know most of the saying, I want to go there game week 16 and stuff. I get it. I don't think it's going to be for me. I can almost see it. You know what it is? Because their fixture run is so good, it's like, I have to get something. And I've been down this route before. And often you're just better off sticking with the guys that you know are going to be good with other teams. It's particularly game week 17 when they play Sheffield United at home that you think, I've got to go into that game with some bits. And Sanchez was always the one that was going to be part of my plans because I know he's going to get the minutes. But if that Kelleher gift is offering up, then I might even end up, and if Bowen stays fit, I might even end up in a position where I go through, for me it will just be the 3 games. I might even go in with no Chelsea with the way it's looking. And Kunku, we'd hoped would be in the squad this weekend, wasn't. So that needs monitoring. With Reece James at the moment, I think we should tread carefully and understand that it's a Sheffield United at home. With the amount of games they've got over Christmas, is it beyond reason they go 2-0 up against Sheffield United in the first half, take him off at half time? It genuinely could be that sort of stuff.
I bought Reece James this week in the -56 because
that went well.
I thought, look, obviously...
Did you captain him as well? I saw someone captained him this week. Yeah, I've seen that.
I think peak Reece James is one of the best players in the game because of what he can offer. And the price that he's at, or was at least when I bought him at 5.3 for that, it's like, you're not going to get a Reece James level talent at 5. When are you going to get to own him at 5.3? And I thought I'd take the risk on him. Like, he's lasting 1 week and it's fine. And just the let's call it trauma, post-traumatic stress disorder now I've got with Reece James. It's like, he's already hurt me there. I don't think I'd go back no matter what the price is, because I know that it's a problem round the corner. And if it's not him getting a red card and now he's suspended,
it's only one game ban.
It's going to be an injury or it's going to be something. With Reece James, you've always got to time it right. Like, you've got to own him at the right time, because either side of that, it can be rubbish or injured or suspended or not available or whatever. And I don't want to play the timing game with him. So I would just let it go. And
yeah, I might sit here in 10 days and buy him. That's the honest truth. But I think the one thing I would say is the key word you used when you were speaking about him there was peak.
Yeah, well, you don't get it that often. When you get it, you get 15 pointers.
No, but at the moment he's not.
Yeah, he's not.
And I don't think with and he's a wonderful player, he really is. But I don't think he's going to be anywhere near his peak for a while. And I think we should be very, very cautious of that at the moment. But people have gone, and there will be people that will still definitely. There are people who will be listening to what we're saying right now and go, I don't care. I'm going there in game week 16, and it's fine. I might even join you, but it's not peak James. No. We should understand that. For Newcastle, it's a brilliant result. Isak played, and I think we'll get a lot of attention, rightly so. Anthony Gordon's going to be really popular this week. I've spoken about the fixtures coming up, which are good. You know, it's Manchester United this week, but it's Manchester United at home. Any Newcastle home game is a relatively good fixture. Big Tasty scored.
He did.
Rooted to the bench. The legend continues. No regrets about that decision, by the way. I obviously went with Udogie and Cash in my team this week. Udogie missed the one-on-one after about 2 minutes. And if you'd have said to me Matty Cash was going to play right wing, I'd have gone, yep, thank you very much.
He got a combined score bigger than all three of my defenders. Probably same for you, no?
Got Saliba.
Yeah, so 6 plus.
Yeah, well, Lascelles got 7.
No, I'm saying Lascelles scored more than all three of my playing defenders combined.
The same. I think I got
7.
One for Destiny.
I got 1 for Trippier. So 7 versus 7.
I don't regret the decision, because I thought Chelsea would score at the weekend. I'm like, well, he's shit going forward. He never scores. Well, of course he did this weekend. That's the way the game goes. There will definitely be people out there who had like Trent on the bench scored, Lascelles on the bench, Pau Torres scored. There'll be a few defensive returns sitting on people's benches this week. Shout out for Lewis Miley, who played as the right of the midfield three, acquitted himself very well by all accounts. He looks a real talent. That's a really, really good result for Newcastle. We know they've got their own injury issues at the moment. As said, Gordon's going to be really, really popular. I think he's returned in every home game, Suj. And it's another one this week. So,
yeah, he's a good shout.
Yeah, it's a reasonable price. I would have a little caveat that Barnes isn't far away, but the word was game week 16 at the earliest. So I don't think you'd be looking at a Barnes start till sort of 17, 18, maybe. Also, just bear in mind, obviously, they've got a massive Champions League game. I think that's tomorrow night. And they are still in the Carabao Cup quarterfinals as well. But Gordon, as it stands, with his youthful energy, will play the majority of these games.
Yeah, it's interesting. I wonder what it's like for Newcastle, but it's going to be exactly the same as for West Ham. But between now and Christmas or the New Year, it's 10 games in 33 days for us. So I'm assuming it'll be 10 games in 33 days for them as well, which is a lot of football. So there will be some rotation, but then they're also walking wounded. So you've got to play who you got fit, really.
I do have Lascelles busting the team this week.
Okay.
Which might be more of a Matty Cash conversation we'll come on to.